to beat the mind game.
Hello friends, and welcome back to Prey You Only Live Once, where no healing is allowed and any death ends the run. In the last episode, we took a big detour into life support in order to spike the station's water supply with processed typhon bodily fluids, which I'm sure will go over extremely well with the remaining survivors of Talos I. Let's just maybe not tell them about that part, shall we? One of those survivors is Chief Engineer Ilyushin, also known as our ex Mikhaila. We found her here in the power plant and saved her from a slow, painful death, so she's going to gratefully make her way over to our office once she can stand upright again. For now, there's not much more we can access in the power plant until the main quest progresses further, but there's one room we didn't clear during the last episode. First, though, we picked up Shotgun Critical and then completely forgot to equip it, so let's do that now. Now here's that room I mentioned last episode. I believe the term that I used was a shit ton in reference to how many mimics there were in there. The actual number, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is 8. A total of 8 mimics in this room, imitating various things, some of them greater mimics. That sucks to deal with. Now, there's obviously things that we could do, like we could snipe that one through here, but the moment we hit any of them and kill them, it's going to activate all of the others. We could also throw a recycler through there, and I have done that for to good effect, but that will destroy some loot. We definitely don't want to do that in that corner because there's a neuromod over there. So I found a strategy for this that I like to employ, and it is a bit tricky. It's gonna take a lot of things being done in quick succession at once. Yeah, see, there's another one right there in the doorway. Now let's get our light on, and then pop him, and then combat focus. Okay, now we might have knocked one down there. Oh, hi there. Nope, he was just stuck in level geometry. All right, let's take stock of the room. So we got one mimic. Got 2. Let's get backlash back on, just in case. That was 3, then 4, 5, and 6. And any others up here? No, I think up here is clear. Yeah, it's looking clear to me. Okay, well, let's loot the room. We know at least one will have dropped back down, and that's likely where the other body is as well. Unless I've just miscounted or some such, but in any event, I feel fairly confident in saying that there are no more mimics in here. Otherwise, we'd be hearing their chittering from this close, even if they were downstairs. Let's see, I think we got everything here, yeah. Yep, thing from over there up. Yeah, here's the stuff on this shelf that we would have destroyed if we threw a recycler in. Nothing critical, but, you know, no sense in destroying it when there's no need to. Okay. You know, med kits are cheap. I'm going to take one just in case I'm wrong. Nope, we're good. We're good. Okay, now another way to get in here, if you have leverage 3, you can, or recycler grenade for that matter, you can get this out of the way and come up from the crawl space below where we found the neuromod. But that's not necessary. That's a rare example of a broken 3D model. Okay, not sure what's going on there. And yeah, down here, Connolly and Krasikov were having some robot wars, and it was probably glorious, at least for Connolly from the looks of the score. All right, I think that's everything here. Let's open this up. And then I think, yeah, let's deploy and hack this turret.
Deploying.
And let's see, where do I want this guy? Some turrets are going to spawn down here later on. There's nothing we can really do about that, but they're not really going to be positioned well for dealing with the phantoms. And I think, yeah, I think the thing to do here, by the way, if you're carrying something and you're slow, use the jet boost. It's much faster. All right, there we go.
Material inconclusive. Lacking calibration.
And then in here, we've got a grounding resistor, which we need up here in order to repair the power to Mikhaila's office. Don't mind that mimic sound. That's the one that we yeeted into the level geometry somewhere with an explosive last episode. And missed that body on the way in because we came through the hatch. That's fine. And I believe that's everything that we have to do here in the power plant for now. So since we have this handy airlock here, let's head out into space. And just up and to the right here is going to be Mikhaila's office. And this, of course, is where we took out the Telepath some episodes ago. And at the time, there was no power because of that malfunctioning grounding resistor. Since we've replaced that now, this door will work. And we can slip in here and grab a couple of neuromods. Now you'll still see them through the door when you're inside. That bit is bugged. If for some reason it just always shows them. Oop. Oh, hi, Mikhaila.
I believe it was the time where your medical condition was discussed, Chief Engineer Ilyushin.
What the hell? Morgan, is that...
I am January. Morgan used personal operator.
Talk about loving the sound of your own voice. Alright, January. Is that Morgan's workstation? And the fabricator? Morgan, come up here when you get a chance.
Chief Ilyushin, please do not.
And you might remember back during that episode, I mentioned that there was this space behind this busted panel that was intended, I believe, by the designers for use in stealth during the quest to go get her medicine. Because if you want to get past the telepath without having to deal with it, what you could do is just slip in here, keeping to this space, and grab some supplies while we're at it. And then you'd wait till the telepath had his back turned and he was pathing back that direction. But you'd still have to contend with the cystoids in here, so I'm not sure how much good that's actually going to do you. But it's nice that it's there. Well, having done that, you might recall that I mentioned I was opening up a shortcut when we dealt with the shuttle bay. I believe there's going to be some cystoids, if I'm not mistaken. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm on the wrong side of the station. That's Neuromod Division. Just keeping a scan on things, making sure that I'm not passing anything untoward that might come after me. Although, if I'm being honest, that's not so much of a worry now, because if it comes after me in 0G, I'm much faster and I have abilities to deal with them. So I'm not too fussed. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there is a Technopath somewhere in there. But I'm not 100% sure. Okay, yeah, now, I believe there's still going to be cystoids over here. Yeah, I can just barely see them under my crosshair there. Let's keep an eye out for that Technopath, though. Okay. Now let's take some pot shots at these cystoids just to get them out of the way. I would just rather that they not exist. Oh, that's good. Okay. Whoop. Was that? No, that's just a piece of superstructure. I thought I caught a glimpse of a telepath or a technopath in there. But no, I'm just seeing things because I'm paranoid. Alright. Yep, I think we are clear. I think we're in the clear, so let's head into Shuttle Bay. which is thankfully still completely clear. Meaning that we can just freely run straight through and gain quick, safe access to the lobby. And the lobby, thankfully, is still clear of threats at the moment. At least it appears so. And if we just pause by the door here, we might overhear a conversation.
Morgan did not share anything else about me. Not even...
Only the details of your condition, Miss Ilyushin. And only because they might place the station in danger. Both Alex and Morgan felt you were worth the risk.
Oh, Alex knew as well.
Alex is well informed on numerous matters. And discloses few of them.
Uh-huh.
You can say that again. Hello, Mikhaila.
Morgan, hope you don't mind. I was using your workstation.
Chief Ilyushin ignored my request to desist 13 times.
And no need to tell Morgan about the 14th time, January. I took the liberty of restocking your supplies. Found some food on the way up. Left it on the desk. Don't worry, they're alien-proof. I checked them. No twitching.
Chief Ilyushin is correct. There are no Typhon cacoplasmas present.
Oh, thank you, January. I haven't been in here since you were lecturing me on my paraplexis. Thought for sure you were going to fire me. Too bad you were sweet on me. I could tell.
I'll hold that thought. Now, if you recall last episode, I talked a bit about Prey's crafting economy and how anything that could be recycled for more exotic material is more valuable for crafting neuromods than for any other purpose. And we have an absolutely ludicrous amount of psi-hypos, so let's recycle a little over half of them. Now let's leave ourselves with an even 30. And I'd also like to trim down my supply of grenades, because I don't like keeping more than 2 stacks of them, of any of them really other than recyclers. And I find so many that I'd like to be able to pick them up without using more inventory slots. And with all that, let's see what we can do in terms of neuromod crafting. Okay, 21 neuromods is just absolutely ridiculous. I do want to keep some in reserve because we are going to start buying a bunch of new powers very soon. However, for now, the priority that I want is Repair 3 and Lab Tech 1. And do I want Lab Tech 2 also? I don't think I need it quite yet. Yeah, I think that is good for now. Yeah, we'll eventually want a few others, but soon we're going to be speccing into more Typhon powers very, very soon. Now, I picked up Lab Tech, but I don't actually have any weapon upgrade kits, so let's remedy that. And let's use them to make the Q-beam even mightier. There we go. That's what I like to see. And then while we're looking at weapons, how's our condition? Okay. Yeah, let's get some repairs in. That's good. Good. That's fine. And Q-beam definitely needs some repair. There we go. That'll do. And then how are we on ammo? I think we are largely fine for now. Yeah. Bolts are starting to get a little low because I've been using a lot of them, but it's fine. Anything else? Oh, yeah. So we just picked up the plans for disruptor batteries, and we were getting quite low on those and limiting the fact that we could not use it. So I would like to lament no more. Outstanding. That's what I like to see, full batteries. Now, Mikhaila, I believe you've got a side quest for us.
I never told you why I altered my medical records. I know you were so sure when you were lecturing me, Morgan, saying I was selfish and... My father, he was imprisoned for questioning the Soviet intervention in India. Many prisoners are lost in Siberian labor camps, but my father vanished. The only thing I knew for certain was TranStar was recruiting volunteers from those labor camps. I came here because of you and Alex and your experiments. To find him, and now I know he was here. I noticed on your computer. You found a set of names and ID numbers from Psychotronics, from Dr. Gallegos. The Russian volunteers were never referenced by name, but I was able to match an ID to my father. We can pull up his records, archived experiment logs. I've already asked a great deal of you, but if you could find that archive in deep storage, I'll finally know what happened to my father. His name was Yuri Andronov, V01065532.
Well, I think that's the least that we owe Mikhaila, all things considered, so let's make sure we do that for her. And it's actually the main reason that I make a point of rescuing her early, because it does one very important thing for us. See, normally we wouldn't get this quest until much later, because the game expects us to first encounter her after we've already been to deep storage once, when we space ourselves and re-enter through the cargo bay. That means backtracking to deep storage a second time, and contending with a whole bunch of dangerous respawns at a time when the game is already getting more dangerous. By picking up this quest early, we've made that repeat visit unnecessary. We can now take care of everything we need to do in deep storage on the first visit. The other thing it does is get us this chipset that she just handed over. And from the description, you would think that this is the single most important chipset in the YOLO run. I mean, it literally stops me from dying once every 5 seconds. How is that not best in slot? Well, for one thing, it doesn't stop any damage, it just stops me from dying if I'm already about to. If my health is that low, if I've lost that much health in one encounter, I have really fucked up, and the run is basically over. But for another, I feel like it completely trivializes that part of the challenge. It's basically just a free get-out-of-death card, and I don't like it. So, no, I'm not using that. Executive decision. With that done, let's pop back into the shuttle bay just long enough to shortcut into guts.
Warning, air supply system malfunction. Please evacuate until repairs can be made by an engineer or an operator.
I hate it when my system's ass malfunctions.
Microgravity detected.
And then while we're here, I want to show off a little something. In a previous episode, I showed how turrets like to deploy themselves in a particular orientation, and it's always the same orientation when you're in 0G. They like to orient themselves to what they consider to be up, and what they consider to be up is the Talos station vertical, which is to say this, where the top of the station is up. However, there is a trick to getting them to deploy properly, and that's to break them. So if we take one of these broken turrets, like the one that I just picked up, and carry it down here. Let's kill our momentum for a second so I can release it and hack it. Because if you repair a turret, then it will redeploy itself in the same orientation that it's currently in, and it will remain that way until you pick it up and redeploy it. So if I just get this turret moving in this direction, and then repair it and let it drift, it's going to drift towards... Well, I think I sent it a little too up. I think it might collide. No, it's good. It's going to get past. So what that's going to do is it's going to slowly drift to a stop, and it's going to function as a bit of a backstop where it snipes any cystoids or anything else that tries to follow me back here so that I can retreat this direction if I need to. Now, that might not be necessary at all, because usually these cystoids can just be taken out with one of the pieces of debris here, like this canister. And they should pop, and then they should just all blow up. Nope, that's fine, because there's plenty of debris to throw at them. So let's give them something else to chase. There, guys. Have fun with this. And that should do for them. All but. Looks like we've just got one. And he'll pop. Okay. Now, when we get to right about where that turret is, a Weaver is going to spawn in behind that wall and come around the corner. And it's a bit tough to get close enough to a Weaver to disable its psychic abilities and prevent it from spawning cystoids unless you surprise it. And I don't think that you can naturally move quickly enough to get that close to it. It might require some significant reaction time even with combat focus. So I'm going to do a bit of a trick here. It's a little risky, but I've practiced it enough times that I can reliably do it every time. See, a few episodes ago, when I touched one of those railings, it kind of punted me in a certain direction. It's going to punt you not only in the direction of travel, but a bit up and away from it. However, if you're thrusting down towards that railing at the time, and you keep thrusting downwards. Let's get combat focus ready. And okay, Wasn't in time to stop him from spawning cystoids, but it got us past him. Yep, we're good. Not even a need for the turret. However, I will leave him there because I think sometimes a Weaver does respawn down here. And, you know, just in case he decides to have fun. Let's grab that stuff. Now, normally the first time you come through here, we're going to get a series of radio messages from Sarah Elazar and Mikhaila. Actually, between them. They don't even know that I'm here, I don't think, at the time, because they're patching into the PA in order to communicate with each other. That's intended to be your first introduction to people being in cargo bay, etc., and to Mikhaila's fate. However, since we did that early and Mikhaila is now back at our office, that conversation will never take place. Now, you can pitch a recycler into the middle of these. It's not a bad idea. It's just kind of fussy to rearrange things in 0G, and I just prefer not to mess with it. We have so many materials, I don't think we really need the extra little bit that I might get from this. I think it's fine. However, I am going to do a bit of recycling in this next room here for a particular reason. First, let me grab this, because even if you don't have high leverage, you can send things through the transition.
Gravity detected.
Just as a bit of a demonstration there. Now, interestingly, these have drops from mimics, but they're apparently something much larger. And as I showed in a previous episode, there is exotic material even in the empty Typhon corpses. So let me first grab just the random stuff that I can pick up in here. Excuse me. Wow, I'm just pressing all the keys today. I'd like to press less of them. Fewer. Less, fewer. Fewer. Okay. Now, let's see. How do we want to do this? I do want to get a little bit of stuff over here just to increase the recycling yield. I'm not going to spend a ton of time piling things up because that's not really what I'm into. I mean, it's lucrative, but as you've seen, as long as you're just diligently scavenging, you find so many materials, more than enough to craft what you need. However, that is true of the basic materials. I will take any chance I can get to pad our supply of exotic, because exotic materials, as previously discussed, are essentially XP. So let's throw that right in the middle. And the yield is 0.18 exotic. That could have been better, but, you know, it's better than a kick in the teeth. Oh, you know what? I should have thrown that in there, too. It's fine. There's nothing else here what you need. Let's head on into the Arboretum for the first time.
You made it. Nice work. The entrance to deep storage is off the Arboretum. Your brother's office is up here as well. Jupiter in his palace at the top of the heavens. He used to say that behind his back. But that would make you... what? Neptune? Pluto.
Thanks, January. Funny note, if you are playing female Morgan, he makes a much different mythological reference and calls out just how disturbing a notion it would be to compare you to Juno. Anyway, the trip only took a moment for you, but that was actually where I had to stop for the night. My partner is sick, so I spent New Year's Eve taking care of her and trying not to get sick myself. At the same time, I took the opportunity to edit the footage so far and make some mic adjustments. Now, you probably noticed that I have a very loud mechanical keyboard and a very sensitive mic. Even in cardioid mode, it picks up a lot of keyboard noise, especially from my spacebar or when I'm spamming the interact key. So I've been experimenting with different positions, and currently I have it hanging from above, closer to my face, with the keyboard behind it. So hopefully that makes a bit of difference. In the interim, I also recalled something that I had forgotten, which was that I want the Disruptor stun gun to be fully upgraded for this part to come. So let's get that done right now. There we go. Now, we're about to get a scripted set piece introducing a new enemy, and January's going to make a huge fuss about how there's no data about this big bad and how scary it is, yada yada yada. It's going to be on the other side of that unpowered door at the top of the stairs there, and it'll almost immediately run away. So I believe the intent of the developers for this to be a safe opportunity to briefly observe the thing and scan it, at least if you've got speed scan equipped. That'll give you the window opportunity to do that much. That's great, but I've got a different plan. So let's start by getting backlash up. That's not backlash. And then combat focus. And force the door open with leverage 3. Sorry, January, I couldn't hear you over the sound of my kicking the nightmare's ass. And yeah, he drops 30 organs and a cortex, which just all by himself, that's worth 5.4. That's incredible. However, I think we're good for right now on neuromods. We'll be spending a lot in a moment. And for now, let's top off on our psi and get started on clearing the Arboretum. I love the Arboretum. I love this level. It's so beautiful. It's such a change from anything else on the station. I also don't love it because it's dangerous, but yeah, that's the thing. Now, there's going to be another set piece here with a couple of mimics who rush out of the med bay. And I just want to make sure that they don't escape the turrets. I'd rather not have them wandering around being hard to find and mimicking random things.
Sticky notes, even well-hidden ones, are not a secure means of storing your workstation password.
Oh, hey, nobody on this station listens to that one. All right, and right here we've got a new quest.
Eventually. Had to wait a while. Two assholes in the sales team chose that exact moment to stand under the alarm bell and smoke cigars.
So it's off Talos. My clients are eager.
Yeah, just made the last shipment. Should be Earthside by morning, Pacific time.
Good. I'll be leaving another package for you after tomorrow's shift.
Drop site?
The lobby. Assuming it works.
Of course it works. 3 taps of the wrench. That'll pop it open. All of them will work that way by tomorrow.
You're adorable when you get proud of your gadgets.
Don't patronize me, Lily.
Clear aperture of the reef.
There we go. That should do. Now, I say a new quest, but we actually already had that one. That's one of the ways you're intended to pick it up. It's just another clue to the smuggling ring. That will do. There's also some explosive canisters up there that you can deal with them with, but they're a bit harder to get to. And the oxygen canister does the job. All right, well, we should also have a chipset up here, which is fucking useless. No, I'm serious. Fear shielding is useless. And I realize that might be a bit of a hot take, but here's the thing. There's not that many ways to inflict fear in this game, and they're all avoidable. The nightmare is trivial to deal with, and you're only really going to get subjected to his fear. Like, I don't think I actually ever have. Like, I'm not actually sure what does it. I can't recall because all of my means of dealing with him just don't cause that to happen. And then there's the Weaver, and it has a damage reflection ability, or rather a shield that causes the fear effect. But the Q-beam doesn't trigger it, and you should always be using the Q-beam against a Weaver. So, yeah, just fear is not a threat. Fear is not an issue. It's the same reason why alcohol is kind of pointless. But yeah, well, I should say that alcohol is only pointless if you're not using the wrench a lot. If you're doing a wrench build, alcohol is great. Yep, that is not the key. You know what? I don't actually think that I need to do that, but that's fine. I just like fixing things. But yeah, that is an absolutely pointless chipset, in my opinion. And okay, yeah, we can get through. It's fine. Okay, now let's get these little guys hacked and upgraded. Now, let's take January's advice and get the lift fixed. And this is one of the reasons why we wanted to make sure to fully upgrade the stun gun, because we've got a Technopath and a couple of operators on the other side. Now, Technopaths, to this point, have been still fairly scary enemies. You still have to take a lot of care to surprise them and deal with them effectively. Well, now the shoe is on the other foot. You were saying?
Nice work. The lift is responding again. That Typhon hijacked the hardware, even the software running the system all the way down to the machine code. Reprogramming it on the fly. Fascinating. And alarming. I can patch up the code. You should be fine. Take the lift if you need to move quickly between the 3 main decks on Talos I. It has a stop in the lobby and down in life support.
Officer Ja, this is Chief Elazar.
Oops.
Ja here, Chief. How can I help you?
Yeah, what happened is that I hadn't listened to the transcribe that we picked up from Officer Ja on the way into the Arboretum, so let's go ahead and do that now. I've got some stuff to set up in the meantime.
This is Chief Elazar.
Ja here, Chief. How can I help you?
I need you to report to deep storage and get Chief Show to reactivate the tracker on Grant Lockwood. HR. But we don't have a record of him on the departing shuttle. I want to know where he is and escort him where he needs to go.
Yeah, transcribed conversations, the back and forth gets a little bit out of sync when you do anything that slows time, like combat focus or the slow time from going into a transcribe, that sort of thing. All right. Now that that's out of the way, let's get these set up where they need to be. As many of you know, there's a telepath in the greenhouse over there, and there's different ways to deal with him. The way that I want to deal with him should, hopefully, prevent him from ever coming out. However, I want to have these here as a backstop, preventing him from flying away and becoming a major pain in the ass. Now let's get these. We don't want to trigger him quite yet. So meantime, let's head up to the direction of Alex's office. We've got a few things to take care of. First of all, got an electrical hazard here, so let's get a good angle on it. And glue it up and get that repaired. Prompt, please. There. It wasn't giving me the prompt, so I wanted the extra slow time in order to have time to actually finish that. Oop.
Damn it. Hold on. I'm encrypting the rest of this.
I really don't like the logic that the game uses for playing transcribes. It just plays them out of order if you didn't listen to them in order. I've talked a lot about how everything gets more dangerous after you reach the Arboretum, and about how it's one of those quest triggers, and that's actually not correct. Prey has multiple campaign save slots, and one of those I use for free play and testing on my own time. And in that playthrough, I did things in a very different order, and backtracked straight to lobby through guts after loading into the Arboretum. And the lobby didn't change. So I tested again, and it didn't even change after starting the Gathering Echoes quest by grabbing the transcribe that gets you on the trail of Daniel Show. So it seems like you can at least go that far without triggering state changes across the station, but it must happen not long after that. Perhaps it's triggered by taking the lift or by entering crew quarters. Okay. That's what we wanted. That gun is the reason why I have not been upgrading the regular pistol at all. Honestly, unupgraded, it does the jobs that I tend to use it for just fine. Let's step into here for a message from Alex.
We used to sneak into my room when we were kids, hack into my computer. I still remember when you ruined my galactic conquistador save files. I broke your arm when I found out. I regret that now,
Goddamn well better.
but I'm still not fond of you messing with my stuff.
Yeah, a bit extreme. Nice subtle threat there, though, Alex. And in here, it's... What is that? What is that chipset? Is it scope? Yeah, scope. Reduce the time it takes to prepare an object by 50%. That's not terrible. Is there anything that I could stand to lose for it? Honestly, not really at the moment. I'm happy with my loadout, so let's stick with that.
Once things get as bad as they probably are, your only option is to escape. Get the word out about what's happening on Talos I. Alex has a private escape pod. It's locked up. I made a copy of the key and hid it on top of the data tower near the chair. You know the one I'm talking about. Listen, there's more at stake this time than just us or this station. If just one of those creatures made it home, then we're lost. I keep having this dream. I'm just staring into the black between the stars. There's something there. I know there is. I just can't see it. But it sees me. I can feel it. Hate us. I know you know what I'm talking about. Or you will. Soon.
Oh, indeed, we will. However, right now, I want to take a quick look at neuromods, because we've picked up quite a few of them. If you recall, I mentioned that I was saving up neuromods for when I start speccing more into Typhon abilities. That time is now. My usual approach is to stay below the turret detection threshold until I reach the Arboretum, mainly because those two turrets by the lobby lift can be a real pain to safely take out if they're aggro to you. Psychoshock is of course a bread and butter skill for me. I always take it, but sometimes I'll get Mimic Matter or Remote Manipulation for the other. Now though, we're past being concerned with turrets, and that means it's time to evolve the bread and butter skill of Psychoshock into garlic bread with pepperoni. And likewise, let's invest 5 neuromods into allowing Backlash to block 2 attacks instead of 1. Finally, we'll need a way to deal with mind-controlled humans very soon, and while we can shock them with a disruptor, I'd prefer to use Mindjack because it's usable from much further away. However, we need to scan another Telepath to get that ability unlocked, and fortunately, we'll be able to do that momentarily. And if we just head straight out of here, and over to the greenhouse, let's trigger the initial cutscene for the Telepath.
Hey! Over here!
There we go.
Open this door!
Now we've got Mindjack.
Please!
Now that's going to trigger the Telepath to head over in the direction of that poor fellow. And that's actually good, because that's going to get him on the side of the greenhouse that we want him to be on, and I'm not sure how long he's going to linger there. Now, this is Alex's escape pod. I've seen people make a glue bridge, but you really don't need to. Just push to the left as you walk across it. It's quite simple.
Afternoon, Talos. Safety aboard Talos I is everyone's responsibility.
But the point of that is to get us over here. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is not real level geometry. And you can see that the 3D model doesn't have textures on the top side. I don't think you're intended to see this. And it definitely doesn't seem to have collision for the player, because I just keep falling straight through when I try to get on top of it. However, a little bit of glue will solve that traction problem. And where has the Telepath moved? I think he has actually moved away from where I want him to be. Oh. Nope, there's a mind control human, who I, for some reason, can't scan through that scaffolding. Okay. Oh, there he is. He's right there. He is awfully close to Rani. Yeah, there's no way I can Q-beam him right now with where he is. Oh, good. Good, he's moving. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay, yeah, keep moving that way. Can I get an angle from there? Let me check and see if the crosshair turns red. No, that's... Oh, wait. I got a brief angle, but it's not a good one. Okay, that's better. Come on. There we go. Okay. And Rani is safe and sound, and hopefully no one else was close enough to receive the damage from the explosion. I think we are good. Now I have to apologize. The greenhouse is very framey. It's poorly optimized and it causes frame rate drops. So I may end up cutting little bits and pieces out of my looting in here. It's just going to be me grabbing a whole bunch of fruit off of the vines and stuff like that.
Dr. Yu, what happened? Where? Oh God, please tell me you killed that thing. I came up here to deploy the EATs, the Eradicator turrets. Then it was like all the color bled from the world. Everything had an edge to it. I couldn't control myself. But the EATs are still in the small arms closet nearby. We could still use them. Here's the code. I'm going to make my way to the cargo bay. Security was supposed to fall back there. Sarah will have my ass if I don't.
Okay, well, you just do that, and also maybe help the people who collapsed down here. So yeah, you've probably noticed some of the frame rate drops, maybe not, depending on how sensitive you are to those things. I can't stand that shit, so I'm going to get that looting done, and I will keep the footage in if anything interesting happens. Optimizer morph. Do I? No, I don't have it, and don't really need it, honestly, anyway. Okay, that is a shit ton of fruit, far more than I will ever need. In fact, to be honest, I've seriously considered just recycling all of the remaining organic food that I have, because it's not super useful when you have medkits. It does, however, have one thing that it does for you that medkits don't, and that's that I'm not sure if a lot of people realize, but you can stack the well-fed bonus. That said, it's not really that big of a deal, so yeah, I'm just going to recycle all of that. And speaking of making efficient use of what's in the map, I've shown before breaking apart operators for what's inside them, but I usually don't bother doing that with engineering operators, because they're only really worth spare parts for the most part, and QB ammo. But science operators can have psi-hypos. And each one of those psi-hypos is worth 0.6 exotic.
TranScribes Civil 495 Science Class Operator ready to deploy. Please stand clear of aperture. TranScribes Civil 495
Sorry, Sybil.
Science Class Operator ready to deploy. Please stand clear of aperture.
Yeah, that right there. 3 psi-hypos? That was half a neuromod. Easily. Nice. Okay. Now, I'd like to recycle the Typhon carcass. It would be ideal if the operators were a little closer, but I didn't want them to wander, and if you're doing a YOLO run, don't take the risk of picking up operators. Just don't. Because even just gently setting them down occasionally has the chance of dealing physics damage to you. It's total bullshit. So let's see what I can get by putting it right about here. That might pull them all in. And all the humans are further back. Yeah, humans are far away. That's fine. Oh, weapon upgrade kit. All right, let's trigger the grenade. And what's that worth? Absolutely fuck all. Well, I've had enough of the frame rates in here, so let's get the hell out of the greenhouse. Alright, let's get the turret set up in a more useful place, because they were only there as a bit of a precaution against the Telepath coming out to play.
Ready to scan.
And I generally like having them set up here to provide a bit of crossfire for this little intersection. And this will often give this turret a bit of protection from being attacked from below.
Ready to scan.
Alright. And with that done, we've got a dangerous task to do. We have a couple of very nasty phantoms over here to contend with. And the ideal way to go about dealing with them is really going to depend, I think, on where they are. Because there's an etheric phantom that is pretty much always hanging out over here by deep storage, but there's a thermal phantom who wanders quite a lot. Okay, now where's that etheric? There he is. Let's get a scan in on him. Will you... Hey, stop moving.
Scan complete.
All right, there we go. Got the scan.
Psionic aptitude available.
Where's the thermal? Is he over here? Yeah, he is. Okay. So let's actually get the etheric phantom headed over in this direction. Or no, he's just going to magically see me up here somehow. Okay. Okay, if that's the way you're going to play. Fine. Okay, let's get Backlash up. And have combat focus ready. Yep. And that's why. Okay. Alright, the Etheric is dealt with. Not sure how he managed to see and aggro me all the way up there when the when that foam bolt didn't hit anywhere near me or should not have been traceable back to me, but whatever. Sometimes the stealth mechanics in Prey are not the best, which is one of the reasons why I don't entirely rely on them or spec into the stealth tree. Okay, let's get Backlash ready again. Okay. I think we've got the drop on him. Sit down. Okay. And I will try not to be jump scared by Backlash deactivating in a moment.
Congratulating Dr. Lorenzo Calvino, winner of the Employee Innovation Award this quarter.
Congrats, Lorenzo. Sorry about what happened to you. Okay. Let's do a little bit of prep here because we've got an operator dispenser that I have no use for and that I would like to block off for later.
Obstruction detected. Please clear aperture of debris.
And here's that supply closet that Rani gave us a access code for. And that's going to get us a few useful things and mostly a couple of turrets. Oop, I am out of space. Okay. Guess it's time to recycle. Well, first of all, before I forget, let me get these turrets hacked. Because once you have sufficient Typhon material, that red light is not one you want facing your direction. So always pick them up, hack them, and deploy them so that they're facing away from you. Don't just deploy them without picking them up first.
Eradicator auto turret version 0.7 online.
All right. And we only have one more significant set of threats in here, and that's the stuff that is here in the entrance to crew quarters. So when we set that first turret up outside the view of one of the phantoms in there, that'll keep him from taking shots at it while I'm trying to get things set up. And okay, he's headed back down, good. And there's another one down below, I believe. So that allows plenty of time to get all of this set up for them. Whoa! Or not. Maybe activate Backlash first. Okay. I'll take a med kit as well, just to cover myself in between backlashes. Okay, let's clear out a little bit of this glue. Pistol ammo is cheap. Okay.
Target Typhon material inconclusive. Logging calibration request.
There is one more phantom down there, and of course these two operators that we can see in here. Actually, I'm running low on sign. I'd rather not use up a hypo. Deleted. I should have saved the kill you with my brain clip for that one. All right. Oh yeah, I was going to recycle. Let's go do that right now. I've got a bunch of weapon upgrade kits, but I can't actually do anything with them that I want to, which is upgrade the Q-beam. So let's take a look at neuromods, because I think it's about time for a Lab Tech 2. As well, now that I've got Mind Jack unlocked, let's get that in play. And let's get those upgrades in. There we go. That's looking much better.
Scanning target Typhon material inconclusive. Logging calibration request.
And now that all that is cleared out, got plenty of room for picking up loot. And as I said, we've got just a couple more things to contend with here. Let me make sure that my turret doesn't shoot me in the back, because that would just be embarrassing. And there we go. And just a quick hack. And let's grab the area map. And I believe there's nothing else here. Yeah, just the door and the area map and, of course, the crew tracker. Now, there's just a couple more bits and pieces that I want to grab here. Did I get this? Yeah, I got this one. And did I get... Let's see. Oh, that's right. I believe the rest of these are over here.
Please clear aperture.
Yeah, here it is. So later on in crew quarters, we will get a note that tells us to go find her body, and her lover has left something under a rock here, which he says will unlock everything that her heart desires. Now, normally that would require a backtrack here to clear that out, but we'll take care of that momentarily. And I haven't actually seen anyone else find this one. Like, I've watched so many Let's Plays, and I've not seen anyone find this little baseball track here. I have to imagine that this was Harley Granger's favorite spot. Okay, I think that was all there. Yeah, there's nothing else. So now with that keycard that we just picked up, let's go open up that storage room and see exactly what it was that Elle's heart desires. And unfortunately, it was Lawrence himself, and he was not himself. Rip Elle and Lawrence. I love the couple stories on Talos. They're a bit bittersweet, but it's really nice that they're there, because obviously in an environment like this, I don't care what kind of rules you have in place about fraternization or registering with HR, people are going to hook up. You know, you can't stop emotions, and you can only do so much about hormones. You know, people have self-control, whatever, but they're going to want to hook up. They're going to fall in love, and they're going to have nightmares, apparently. All right, then.
That massive Typhon appeared shortly after you installed alien neuromods. You're being hunted.
You know what? I bet he's out here being... Yeah. he was out here getting aggroed on the turrets. So, once again, they have done their job. Let's go toss his parts in the recycler really quick. Along with all this other nonsense. And that's going to give us 3 more neuromods. Nice. It's making a lot of noise like the Nightmare is still out there getting pissy, but, yep, he's done. There's one last thing to do here in Arboretum, and that's cue things up for next time by kicking off the Gathering Echoes quest.
Ivy, what is it?
How's it coming?
I can't get this damn thing open. Where's Danielle?
Still not answering. What's wrong?
Danielle tied the lock to her voice. We need her to speak the key phrase or we're not getting in here.
Would voice samples work? Transcribe recordings?
Yes, if they have the right words. Or if we gathered enough to map her voice to a consonant and vowel list and started running patterns.
I'll see if I can find her. Or her transcribe. I'll check her room first.
All right, Ivy, but look, don't do anything stupid. Ivy? Ivy? Shit. Damn it, Danielle, where are you?
Believe me, sir, you don't want to know.
It's unlikely Chief Show is still alive. I advise you follow Zachary West's strategy. Hack together voice samples. Your transcribe is equipped with the necessary software. It's how you made my voice. Danielle's cabin might be a good place to get started.
And that's where we leave off for now. Next time on Prey, we're heading into the crew quarters, another of my favorite places on Talos I. I love the crew quarters. It's a very dangerous map, but it's also one of the most human and relatable places on the station. It's an amazing place to explore, and there's a ton of great loot to find while we're at it. I hope you'll join me for that. If you haven't already, do the usual YouTube stuff, like and subscribe. It helps the video get seen by people who like the same things you do, and it also really helps me out. If you have any feedback about the YOLO run, my strategies, my editing, anything, I'd love to hear it. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.